Oh, this is glorious.
I fucking love this
Full
movie.
Moon Productions in all its glory.
Dude, I mean, this is Uncle Charlie at his prime when he owned a fucking castle in Italy and was like, how do I justify owning a castle in Italy? Well, I know. I'm just going to film everything there. That's fucking genius, man. Love that man.
Why the hell not? Make it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Castle Freak.
Fuck yeah.
Starts off a wee bit of a slow burner, but
Well, it's so abrupt too. Like, this isn't like a traditional full moon movie where you get the goofy Richard Band score coming in that's ominous, yet it sounds like it could be in a kid's movie. No, this just starts like immediately. No score, no nothing, just an old lady cutting some bread and some sausage. And it's like, God, did I accidentally hit skip? It's great.
Yeah, and I'm looking at her going, that's why I'm fat. Because if you're only taking those 2 slices and a bit of bread, I'd have that whole thing. Like,
right.
if it was me, that whole sausage would be on the bread. Never mind just 2
Yeah.
slices.
Yeah, right.
And then we realize it's not for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we'll see lots of shots with the kitty. I'm like, when's the kitty getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you just know that's happening.
Yeah, because there's no fucking way in hell a cat's not going to be like, nobody's here. I'm eating that fucking bread and eating that sausage. Like, that's what cats do.
Yeah, just get in your face like, meh.
Or just wait till you turn your back and then steal the fucker. Like, my cats don't even do that shit. They'll just steal it from your hand as you're getting ready to eat.
You just get the claw. I remember we cat Leo, and that was his thing. Actually, he had a thing. He came up back of that sofa and he just whapped me in the head. And then when I did that, he'd be like, down to whatever it was. I'd be doing that, and he'd sure whatever it was away. I'm like, you wee shit, you got me again.
Fucking cats, man.
Yeah. Apparently, they've remade this in 2020.
Yeah, I knew about that, but I never saw it.
I saw the poster of the main character, and I'm just getting Boss Girl vibes. Just it's all about her. She's not even come with her family this time. She's a grown adult, and I'm just getting warning signals about it.
Gotcha.
It's like, leave it alone. If you can't make anything yourself, stop remaking. If that's all you can do, then piss off.
I mean, stop remaking, period. But, that's just my own personal opinion.
But yeah, we'll have her come down, like a slice of bread and the 2 tiny slivers of sausage. God, she really made life difficult for herself too. Like, this is massive, like clunk, 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 clunk down the stairs.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking stairs, man. That's the one running theme throughout this movie is just like, I couldn't do that. I would just die. Fuck those stairs.
You'd have a constitution on you like nobody's business. Like doing that a couple of times a day. Poof.
Right.
Marathons, no bother.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, oh, okay, she's gonna go feed this poor thing. Nope, she's gonna beat the living shit out of him with one of the gnarliest floggers ever.
Yeah, that is not that's Cat and Ninetails' big brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like Cat and Ninetails is just a tickle compared to that thing. God, that's made out of hatred.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, that's probably an heirloom from the olden days where they would actually just beat their servants.
I think that's actually custom made just to kill. I mean, that's flogged to death sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but she just wailing into him, and you hear pathetic cries. You're like, oh shit, what the hell's that about? You bitch.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I get it. I mean, that's how I usually get fed by my wife is, here's food, whack. But still, it's excessive. It's excessive.
Yeah, she doesn't use that thing. She uses the normal whip.
Nah, just use her hand. She doesn't need to use implements.
And to add insult to injury, the cat eats the sausage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, fucking he wasn't, so why not?
Yeah, I'm not getting whipped, so I'm going to eat.
Yeah, the best part is, of course, she does that. She exerts herself. Then she goes back upstairs. Is like, huh, this isn't right. And then dies in bed from a heart attack. It's like, that's what you get, you fucking asshole.
Yeah. Slap that right up you. But of course, we then go skip forward. I don't know. Time's a bit of a problem with us.
Yeah, it's you don't really know how long it's been. And one of your notes is the whole cat surviving that long. It's like it's a fucking cat. I believe it. I mean, it could get out, it could go fucking mouse hunting, or probably ate her legs or something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, not even just their dam, but the fact that they'd have to go in and, like, for probate, document everything and have an executor say, a lot of time will go past, but we don't really get a sense of that. And it's like,
no, like they throw a little bit of mock mold on her face, and we're supposed to assume that, oh, okay, she's been dead for a long time.
and then that's, add that on the top of her being found and then having to do the post-mortem, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It does, and I know I'm maybe thinking a wee bit too much about
Yeah,
it,
you
but
shouldn't think with these kinds of movies.
yeah. But it's things like that actually take me out of it. I think I've said this before, it's the ground, the reality side of things. And then the rest of it can make sense. I mean, you can accept the fantastical, but if you ground reality, and especially time's a big jarring thing. If you can't get a grip on how much time passes in a movie or series, that really throws you off.
Yeah.
Traveling's a thing as well, how long it takes from them to get the A to B. And then if you can't scale that into the particular universe, it just messes with you. It takes them 6 months to get from this point to that point in the map, but they can do this point in 3 hours. You're like,
right.
huh? So that's where maybe I'm hyper aware of it now. Might be my problem.
Yeah. That's their fault for making you think.
Yeah, how dare you, Sam? I'm here for the gore and there's soon lots of boobies.
I mean, it's an Uncle Charlie film, so yeah, there's definitely a lot of blood, a lot of boobs.
And
Although not a lot of boobs in this one.
There's a decent amount.
There's boobs, but not like
not copious
a
amount,
traditional full moon movie.
Yeah, but they didn't disappoint. I wasn't disappointed. Keeps an old man happy. What can I say? But how many movies do we have now with you friggin' Americans fantasizing about being royalty?
I mean, that's not even like movies. That's reality.
What's that about?
I don't fucking know. I don't want to be in charge of shit. Would I want that castle? Ish. Like, I'd want to hang out there, but actually,
Right, would you want that castle?
Charge...
Here's the thing, especially people that want like Scottish castles and stuff. It's all right in the summer for the 2 weeks of summer that we get, but do you want that in the winter?
No.
Trying to heat that fucker up?
Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
You'll have a castle, but you'll be in one room with newspaper against the windows, shivering, beside a fireplace. Because
exactly. You're gonna be the one room that has the biggest fireplace, and building like a fucking fire tent around it.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere else.
Yeah,
but it's just weird. That's all my time growing up. Every other movie's been some sort of American either traveling back in time, the land in medieval England or Europe, and they'd be some descendant of something else. And you're like, on the other hand, you draw like freedom, and it's like, make up your minds, you schizophrenic fucks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people pretend to be Scottish and all sorts. It's kind of tragic. Hi, buddy. Dear. Oh, there's Chris on as well.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Cool. Oh, and that was the same before our heads because Christian's toilet. God, they must have just brightened it up.
Yeah.
Weirdly bright.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing of royalty, because Italy hadn't exactly had the best history when it comes to the royal family. Funny enough.
What do you mean?
They actually deposed their monarch. The funny thing was that Mussolini, when he came to power, he was a bit clever than other socialists. And first of all, he did was he gave the Vatican, to the Catholic Church so that they had their own thing, so they were on side, and he kept the royal family in place. But it was after VE Day that things went tits up, and then basically got like a Cromwellian style government who went a bit too far.
Yeah.
And it was Umberto II, I think, was the last king who they let. He was known as the May King because he only reigned for like 70 days or something like that. He took the throne and he was deposed like in the same month.
That's funny.
And as question, he was allowed to be a monarch for like a month. But the reign was like 70 days, but then he's only actually king for 26 or something. So he's known as
See,
the
I mean,
May.
that seems reasonable. Like, I think I could probably handle that without completely destroying the country and the government. But longer than that, yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you couldn't put me in charge of a country or a religion or a, a state or anything because people do my head in. You might have noticed.
What? No.
And I would just close the thing down just to go fuck off somewhere else, you annoying arseholes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like a day and it's like, all right, let's burn this bitch to the ground. Sir, you're in charge. I know. Let's start.
Yeah. Fuck yous. Right, yous are annoying me. What's this constant whining? Get back to work, do something.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. That's why I always have respect for people that can start cults.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of fucking work. I couldn't even begin to imagine that shit.
Yeah, that to me that just seems like a headache.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you get a lot of money, a lot of sex, but it's also a lot of work to get to that point.
Yeah. I'm just like, nah. That's why I've never had that killer instinct, to be a CEO or anything, because I'm just like, all that schmoozing and yapping
Mm-hmm.
you have to do. Like, stick me in the corner, stick me in the darkest, deepest recesses of somewhere and leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
But do
Yeah,
what I have
same.
to do.
That's why I'm a terrible boss. It's like, stuff. I don't want to do stuff. I just want to work.
Yeah, I've always had a problem with that. I'm a terrible manager because I just have no interest.
Mm.
Fuck, actually, over your side, when I took over one of the departments, remember I was running two departments at one point and fucking my head was just busted. When I took over the one that had all that me for an entire shift,
Mm-hmm.
and my temples were just like dun, 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 dun. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
But anyway, history aside, because like you said, don't think about this stuff because obviously when they deposed the monarch, they would have had all that shit sorted out and taken off because that's the whole point. The whole point of taking power is somebody else wants it and they want the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have all done. So her being a duchess is questionable.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like in title only. It's like you don't have any real power or anything.
And also, the royal family don't actually own anything. Well, the British royal family anyway. It's the crown, the legal entity known as the crown, owns everything. And titles are passed and duchies, etc. But no individual. So if an individual dies, then it goes back to the crown and gets redistributed.
Makes
So
sense.
you don't have like the state of our royal family at the moment. Like Andrew doesn't get a say on who he passes stuff down to once he got his titles taken off him. So do the states, and then just get passed on the Edward and Sophie. You know what I mean? Just you don't have those anymore. You can hand it out. So that's the way normal royal families work. Obviously, full moon royal families work differently.
Oh yeah, I mean, way differently.
They just hand it off to random Americans.
Well, I mean, of
It's
course,
not as
it's
random as not. It's in the beginning. Now let's get it in context. At the beginning, it's a bit wishy washy.
like it's explained,
Later
but
on,
not in a satisfactory way. Like it's like, oh well, I mean, you were the closest next of kin, so it's yours. And then, of course, we get more of what that is at the end, with it being, him being the bastard son of basically that's his stepmom,
Yeah,
essentially.
because the father was a GI who
Mm-hmm.
did the dirty and absconded.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's okay, great, okay. Switch brains off. Get two boobies.
I like, hey man, yeah, that's
But there's a
pretty
lot of
common.
exposition in this. Let's be honest. It takes a while to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it's crazy. I always forget what the runtime is. Sorry, I'm gonna look up the runtime
It's
real
just over an
quick.
hour and a half, actually.
See, I was oh my god, it's
Full,
95. I thought this was 91. Yeah, so it's an hour and 35, and it feels like a 2-hour movie. Like,
I think it's just the beginning.
yeah, it's a lot of buildup. I mean, the action and everything, and the gore, all that shit makes up for it. And of course, like, you know, Jeffrey Combs being Jeffrey Combs, it's, you know, he's playing for the back seats, like the nosebleeds, even though this is on TV or on film. But yeah, it's a lot to get to the meat and potatoes of the film.
Yeah, that's my only real complaint about it. This first act is, uh, it's like taking his time getting there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on. Like when you think of Puppet Master,
Oh
Puppet
yeah,
Master
it
doesn't.
starts.
It start and it does not mess about.
No,
But
yeah.
there's also a time jump. That's why I'm using it as a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll have something happens in the past, then it skips to the future. But when it skips to the future, we just get straight into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
We
like
have all the
just a
characters
little bit
introduced.
of build up with the, you know, everybody meeting up at the hotel, and then it's like as soon as everybody's there, as soon as dinner starts, it's nonstop the rest of the film.
Mm-hmm. Like 10 to 15 minutes, boom.
Mm-hmm.
All the characters introduced. They're all brought together. The reason why they're there and their history, and then we get into it.
Mm-hmm.
This just seems to be dragging its heels a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's Uncle Charlie showing off his castle that he owns or owned rather. So it's like I can't blame him. I would milk the fuck out of that as well.
Yeah, fair enough. And then, of course, we get the tragic backstory because straight away we know that this is not a happy family.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you go with them?
Yeah, that's always been my question. It's like, well, I mean, she seems like a bitch anyways, so
Oh yeah, she's a total bitch.
she's like, oh wait, we're going to a castle in Italy. Oh, okay. I'll pretend that you didn't kill our fucking son, you piece of shit. And
Yeah.
it always blows my mind in movies like this. The two that always come to mind, it's this and Hereditary, where somebody dies due to inebriation and negligence, and that person just walks like nothing ever happened. That's like,
Is that not dangerous driving and manslaughter at the minimum or most?
yeah, like that's still prison time. Like you're going to do time. Might not be very long, but you're still going to be locked up.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's movie land.
Yeah, exactly. We just pretend that that doesn't exist.
Because the plot doesn't need it to.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just this whole okay, here we go. Tragic backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, moral of the story, never trust an addict because
Mm-hmm.
they'll just destroy you.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
can't-
literally the only thing that matters is them getting their fix.
Yeah, they're just sorry, triggered memories.
What? It's almost
Yeah.
like you've had to deal with that before,
Oh,
sir.
you'd think so, wouldn't you? One thing I really like with this is actually Rebecca's character. She's
Mhm.
sort of shining star in this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Like with her, and also dealing with blind people. Yes, she starts off with the sunglasses, but she has the cataracts. The contact lenses in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not afraid to show it.
Mm-hmm.
We're normally in a
Well, and the
movie dealing with
scarring too, which is
yeah,
nice.
it was really well done, and also it was not that gimmicky scarring. It was like proper faded.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. No, and there was actually, to me, that's the best detailed makeup because it's subtle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's real. That shows that it's a, lived in type of injury. That's something that's been there for a hot minute. and it looks real.
Yeah, but normally when they pick blind people in movies, they always have the sunglasses on. It's super cheesy, and it's only for the shock reveal that you see their eyes that they're milky, and it's like prejudice much.
Well, it's like we also don't need that, reveal. We kind of have seen them and we're assuming that they're fucking blind.
Yeah, but just letting her operate with just like I said, the contacts and just being normal, which also highlights the fact that what do you call her, the wife, Sharon, isn't it?
Susan.
Susan, sorry, she's a Karen anyway.
Yeah.
But the fact she tells her to put her glasses on to go down for lunch, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shows that was a good character reveal, I think, in a subtle way. So while this starts off cheesy, there's actually good character moments in this and good storytelling. Just
Yeah,
subtly thrown in.
that is the thing. Like it's very slow in the beginning, but they do clearly show everybody's character right out of the gate. Like this is who this person is, this is who this is, so forth and so on.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, just we're seeing Rebecca, and she's actually the one trying to move on and get on with life. Which is what I'm worried about. When I just saw the poster, I can sort of get a snap decision at times and not be wrong sometimes with a poster. The 2020 remake looks like they're going to destroy Rebecca's character and make her a girl boss. And I'm like, not feeling that at all.
Yeah, I need to see it. I don't want to, but I need to.
Yeah, we might say that and then just rip it apart, unless I'm completely wrong. But I don't think I am, because first of all, you're doing a remake, so you're a hack anyway.
Right. Well, and it's great too. Looking at the ratings and stuff, it's like this is terrible. It's like, cool. I should see that.
Yeah, there is an unmitigated joy about ripping movies apart.
It's like that's the thing. I can appreciate a bad movie as long as I go into it understanding that it's going to be a bad movie. Like if I go into something thinking, okay, this might be good, and then it's just utter dog shit, I'm probably disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, just thank you very much. We're getting there. People are still finding us and staying, so can't argue.
That's the biggest kicker is people are staying.
Yeah. Obviously, not people aren't getting up early in the morning to watch us, so they'll catch up later. But these wee shows don't do too badly actually.
Nice.
They pick up. I just love the way they made at the scene at the lunch. Americans don't eat enough.
Yeah, that is 100% not correct. We are one of the fattest fucking countries there is, with severely high diabetes rates. We eat enough. We eat more than enough.
It's the only time I've encountered 5XL shirts. Like
Yeah.
they're legit there, as if it's normal, and that's not even like they go up to 7XL, and that's normal. Like
Yeah, man.
3, 4, 5XL shirts are like in abundance on the rack, and I'm just like, huh? Like I see myself as obese because I'm I'm overweight. I need to.
Yeah, I mean, clinically speaking, yeah, you can be 5 pounds overweight and be obese. So,
and I try to. The only thing I don't do is exercise. I need to get that sorted out. But
the only thing I don't do is stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm not eating. If I was sitting eating burgers every day,
yeah, no, I got you.
I'd be like this, and not be able to move. So the only thing that saves me is that I'm, I minimize the junk food, but I just need the exercise. If I exercise, I drop,
Yeah,
but
man,
I feel
that's my
overweight and
problem.
bloated. But no way, if I was going to hit XL, 2XL, I'd be like crying.
Yeah, me too.
And I'd be like, people are running about 5XL, 6XL quite happily. I'm like, whoa, fuck.
Yeah, about the time I get to 2X, that's when I'll definitely stop. It's like, but then again, I've been XL since high school, and I was not big in high school. Yay, drugs.
No, just well, I sort of have XL for comfort,
Mm-hmm.
but usually I'm a large. The the most I've got down to is the medium because I'm still a chunky bloke, but I was boxing then,
Dude,
so
looking
that was
at
like the thinnest I've ever been was when I was boxing. And
Mhm.
the thing is, I was fucking knackered. I mean, every day I was exhausted. It just wasn't worth,
That's a
it's all right
lot.
for a short
It
period of
worked.
time, but like a couple of months in, you're just like, I am miserable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
man, that shit's no joke.
it's all balanced, but like 5, 6 XL is ridiculous. But back to the movie. Yeah, Americans don't
Yeah,
eat enough.
Americans eat enough is the moral of the story. Definitely.
But she did make a good point about there is something about sitting. I'm a believer of sitting at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm old school, but I'm like, leave your phones, fucking break bread together. That's one of the oldest traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Break bread and actually spend time in each other's company and fucking talk.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh
don't
man.
talk, I mean, just even if you don't talk naturally, just spend time in each other's company. That's how you develop
Yeah,
bonds.
it's fucking magical. It's the truest sense of community is sitting down for food with people.
This whole, like, for a while, the culture, I don't know how bad it is now, but people all take their food. I've noticed that was a thing. People take their food and all disappear to their rooms. Like, they started letting
Mm-hmm.
teenagers do that. We never did. We always sat as a family.
Yeah, no, it was always, if not at the kitchen table, we were all at least in the living room.
Yeah, you all sat together, one or the other.
Mhm.
But this idea of, like, I was starting to see it when I was growing up, that that's what kids were doing, like just taking their food, going to their rooms, and you're like, what is
Yeah,
this?
that's fucking weird.
But it became a thing, and then they wonder why everyone's disconnected now
Mm-hmm.
and have loathing for each other because they're leaving each other, and then they're going to listen to what the internet tells you about the person in the next room,
Mm-hmm.
i.e., parents, or the parents getting told about their kids, and they're not actually dealing with each other.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing about social interaction online is it's like that's the polar opposite of actual social interaction. Like that's not reality. Reality is actually standing next to that person, talking to that person face to face, not writing them back and forth.
Yeah, I revert back to the beginning of the stream with the lovely individuals. That's what happens when you don't actually meet people face to face
Yeah.
and make eye contact. And uh,
Yeah, because people like that they'd never have the intestinal fortitude to actually say shit like that to your face.
of
Ever.
course, of course not, because a punch in the mouth sure changes a few opinions.
Mm-hmm. It's magical how that works.
um, I love the way. When did this all start getting weird? Yeah, after this, we have Georgie, who's we find out is the person in the castle,
Mm-hmm.
like trapped. How is he still alive?
I mean, he's getting water dripping down the side of the castle walls, so presumably that way.
It's
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you have to just kind of accept in this movie because I mean the biggest problem is we have no fucking clue how long it was until they showed up. Well, specifically the new maid. But then again, she didn't know about him.
and she was the
So,
maid
yeah.
for the Duchess.
Mhm. Yeah, shit, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Whatever, we just don't think about it.
It's like we'll have to get past this bit, the Georgia escaping.
Mhm.
It's like honestly, this first bit could maybe get edited out, like all of it, and just have Georgia escaping.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
have
like
the maid feed him.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, he should have just escaped after she died. Like we see the chains break after she drops in the bed, and whatever. Then we just accept stuff. I mean, we have to accept it anyways, but makes a
Because
little
if
bit
he
of
had
sense.
been roaming the grounds, actually, what would have been the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because clearly he knows better than to actually leave the grounds.
Yeah, so that could be one of those. It's, like I said, I think it's a time scale. It really
Mm-hmm.
messes this movie up. Because this could be an absolute classic.
I mean, it is.
But I mean, proper up there, upper echelons, it's sort of getting in its own way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of the charm of these kinds of movies is it's like it's so bad, but it's still so good that you kind of accept that bad stuff.
Yeah, it's all one issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like loads of different issues. It's one issue, and it's the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only issue in the movie. If they fix that bit, everything else falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
And why did he call the police the first time? Was it because of Rebecca screaming?
Yeah, it was because she was convinced there was somebody in the house and like they heard banging and stuff. So, it sounded like there was an intruder. So that's why the police were involved.
And they walk into a cell, and they don't look around, and they don't notice like the cat shredded to bits.
Well, no, they didn't go in. That was the thing.
Did they
They
not
were
step
like,
in?
oh, fuck, what's that?
Did they not step in?
No. They were just in the courtyard talking to him. It's like,
No, I thought they
sir,
went down. Was that not the second time? Did they not actually come down into the? Or
that
was it?
was at
Oh,
the end of the
that was
movie.
John, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who stepped into the cell the first time?
Yeah. It was
It was
him.
John. Sorry, and he didn't look around and notice.
Yeah.
Hang on, this is a prison cell.
Yeah.
There's
No.
a big chunk in the wall, and there's a shredded
Well,
cat.
he was more enamored by the fact that there was a fucking wine cellar, like a big ass wine cellar.
Yeah, I suppose
So,
that's
I mean, it's
his logic
priorities,
centers
man. Priorities.
his logic centers went out the window. Never
Yeah.
trust him.
But yeah, no, I mean, the cops even like when they came in, they're like, no, man, there's like 105 rooms here. We're not fucking looking through all of them. It's like it's a castle. It makes noises. Get over it.
Which is fair enough, actually. Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't have time for your shit, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then we have all this shit between Susan and John, and it's like, why are you even still married?
Mm-hmm.
What is the score? Because she didn't know he was in there. And this has been 2 years. We'll find out later it's been 2 years since the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, accident's not really the word.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the word.
No, it's when if you get a skinful and step in behind the wheel of a car, then it's not an accident.
No, there was only one way that was going to end.
Yep. God, I don't know. I've seen loads of people have their license taken off them. It's like, that's why I was always worried. It's like, yeah, not good. Not worth it.
Yeah, man. Like, if I even have a beer, I'm sitting there for at least a fucking hour, paranoid as shit. Like, all right, am I good? Am I good? I'm good. I'm sober, but am I good? Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, don't need it.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, surely she would have already divorced him by now.
I mean, there's got to be a reason he's still around, and I can't imagine. I mean, she's not fucking him, so we know it's not that. So yeah, I don't know why the hell she'd still be around.
Or is it a weird hatred thing of, I'm going to be there to remind you, and it's
Must
something to
be.
vent against?
Must be.
I don't know. People are weird, but they should. They shouldn't do it. But I love where he's like, "Nah, do you know what? I'm going back in the booze again." Because yeah,
that's the only thing really about this movie that is hard for me. It's Jeffrey Combs' depiction of what being drunk is like. It's so overboard for the rest of the movie and how he acts that it's just like that's not really how it is to be drunk, man. You have had drinks before, right?
maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's completely teetotaler.
I mean, maybe
Never touched it in his life, in real life. So he's just going, is this what it's like to be?
Yeah, it's just it's him playing for the back seats, but it's charming for being terrible.
And it's just funny the way he's the one making a ruckus,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like as soon as he starts drinking again, just everything that he does is so against what he's saying and how he's acting. Like, hey, you got to be fucking quiet. It's sounds travels here.
Yeah, and
Or, I'm going to drink some wine. Here, bitch, have some. I'm going to pour it on you. Why are you freaking out? I'm just trying to give you wine. Like, it's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's a reasonable way to act when somebody dumps a bottle of wine on you, is to be like, what the fuck?
yeah. Also, she's like really desperate for the work.
Yeah.
Yet she's well known in the village and has repeat customers, so she should be all right to go.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is, like, the lawyer's like, oh yeah, man, everybody's had a go with her. I said, fuck, even me. But only one person had a kid with her.
And she hasn't used the welfare system to get him rents like a police officer to, police sergeant actually, not a bad salary. You'd think they'd be making best use of that there, but hey ho. But I suppose the plot needs to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Giorgio, he gets free. And what's he going to do with his time? He's going to lech.
As one does.
They should have renamed this Castle Peeping Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not so much a freak as a voyeur.
That's why I'm thinking if at the start after she died he had have escaped but stayed in the castle, that would have been better.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, the whole jarring inconsistency would have just been fixed. That's all he had to do. Was she maybe collapsed in front of him and he escaped and then was hiding in the castle? That, what was wrong with that plot? And then he seen himself, the castle didn't change hands. So he's roaming about the place. Then these new people move in, which sets off things.
Yeah, because it's weird that he wouldn't have already tried to get out. He waits until people are there to be like, maybe I should break these chains.
He smells about smells like lady.
I mean, who hasn't been there?
Yeah. How we do stupid things.
Yes. That's the joy of being male.
Yep. That second brain, once it engages, just
shuts everything off.
Yep, everything just goes beep.
Yeah.
God, like also John, when the hooker wants to give you change, how pathetic are you?
God, right?
That was the funniest scene of all of us.
That was like, how fucking bad are you at anything that's a thing? I mean, clearly we saw that was like, I don't even think he pulled his dick out. I'm pretty sure he just started dry humping the fuck out of her after flossing his teeth.
Well, that's a thing of alcoholism. Funny enough is that actually they did a study on James Bond. They went through the Ian Fleming books and they totted up all the alcohol that he had, drunk in the books. And effectively, he was a functional alcoholic.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
But what didn't make sense is all the women he was shagging, because at that level of alcoholism, he wouldn't be operational. So one would negate the other. So believe it or not, this is actually a true depiction of a functional alcoholic, because the Permanent Brewers Group just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Once you pickle your shit, it's barely gonna work.
Yeah. But when the cocker's going, I need to give you change. I feel bad for this. That's how sad your character is. Yeah, no, this one's on me. Pat the head.
Right. Oh, good job. I'm gonna go now.
You turned up this time.
Yeah, that was pretty goddamn funny.
But then obviously Giorgio's been perving away and he decides he wants to go. I think in his mind he's thinking, well, she's giving him change, but she's keeping it. So that's she's paid for me to have a go. I think that's the way he's worked. But
well, I just love how his brain works. He's like, yes, he drank wine and then poured it on her and then banged her. That's what I'm gonna do.
well, I suppose if you know, what I mean, if you've been locked in a cage and the only thing you've experienced is a whip and a slice of stale bread every so often, and this is how you're learning about life, then
yeah,
this is where it gets funny because this is where this is where he becomes a character. You know, I mean, he dresses himself in the bed sheets and he's just living life.
Right. I love that he covers his face, but his fucking big old balls are just flopping around.
I thought this was an
such a great touch.
A24 movie because you get the full meat and two veg served right in front of you.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking funny.
That is gnarly. Like, it's how much of that's actual penis and how much of it's makeup? Because
that's a full suit. That's a full fucking suit. Because there was no penis on there, just some shriveled up foreskin.
Yeah, just freaking, like,
and it's like, if that's the case, man, I'm sorry.
Like, hold a few. Did they get a bag of ice and hold underneath for like 10 minutes?
God, right?
And the makeup department, you know, God, that was like, see if I had ever any inklings about being gay, that, you know, getting served that is like, nah, I'm good. If there's a chance I'm going to get served that one day, nah, I'm not even going there.
Well, I love, especially once the sheet comes off and he's just full glory. That would be probably one of the scariest things to chase you as a fully naked individual, because if they're chasing you full, like all out, they've got nothing to fear. Like, there is nothing you can do to them that's going to stop them besides killing them, because they don't give a fuck, and that's terrifying.
Yeah. That's what they always say. Don't pick a fight with a homeless person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the crazy homeless person, you don't pick a fight with them because they'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
They have no compunction whatsoever because what have they got to lose?
Right.
Everything from that point just gets better.
Yeah. 3 squares in a bed.
Yep. But it's not even the face. And I love the way in the DVD cover and stuff, not the focus on Castle Freak's face, Giorgio's face, as being the terrifying thing. No.
Nope. The fact that he is just balls naked, chasing after people, that's terrifying.
And just fucking ding those 2 sets of fucking balls, just swinging like ding, ding, ding. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Then this is where it just goes. This is where it's like the starting blocks have just been removed.
Yes, Chris, it does work. Just FYI.
Oh. All right, okay, yeah. You do that next time you're out. Yeah. If you want to spice things up a bit, have a crack at that. In fact, if it does work, fucking run.
Right.
There's a common indicator right there. If something like that does work, fucking you need to go. I have been in some strange clubs.
Yeah.
Where I have been terrified, and I was a walking boner. Like my mid-20s to early 30s, I was a walking boner. I had fucking have a go at the crack of dawn. You know what I mean? Nothing was out of my bounds, and there's times I've been frightened. But like just some terrifyingly rough ladies, and I'm like, oh shit, no. And I just ran. Just
no.
Disengage.
Should I? I don't know. What do you think?
There's times I've genuinely went, no, fucking ran. It's like, this is not going to end well. And if I'm doing that, then yeah. If I'm doing stuff like that, that must be an indicator. But yeah, Giorgio, though, he takes eating out to the next level, without a doubt. It's like, doesn't quite get it.
I mean, he seems to be enjoying himself, so
well, I suppose that's all that matters, eh?
Yeah.
I suppose he hasn't been fed in a while either, so he's like, I'm confused. I have two hungers here that I need to satisfy.
I mean, multitasking, man. It's called being efficient.
Poor girl, like she doesn't deserve this at all.
No, I mean, sure, we're supposed to not like her because she's a whore, but I mean, whores make the world go round, so
Oldest
she didn't
profession.
need it. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
she's not a bad character.
No.
Like she can give change. Like fucking hell, what more do you want?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the most impressive scene of this.
Yeah, definitely, because it's like she should have been like, "Ooh, extra money. I'm just gonna fuck off." And she should have. She should have, by all
Yeah,
accounts, just fucked off, and that's why she died. Is because she didn't. She's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna sneak around and look at stuff."
this is the hidden horror trope that's not talked about.
Mm-hmm.
When the girl gives change, she's dead. That's a moral sin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Then it all just goes mad.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think they're
when
trying to
we
set it
get.
up. I
Oh, go
think they're
ahead.
trying to set up that John's a killer, and he's going to
Mm-hmm.
get blamed for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a wee bit ham-fistedly done.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing. It's like, oh no, she's been missing since last night. No fucking cop's gonna be like, oh, we need to go out immediately and search for a grown ass woman that's been gone for a couple of hours. No, that's not reality.
It becomes reality when he's like, "That's a mother," as in he's the father of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wee bit personal, and he's
Yeah,
not
that's
giving a
true.
shit. So it was ridiculous. Then you realize that the sergeant's actually got a vested interest, and he's a bit psycho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, the whole fucking fight at the police station after he's taken him into custody. That's some shit. Like, it's like, you need to answer these questions. No, I don't. Whack.
He pulls out the fucking bat. Well, my friend says differently. Poof.
Right. And it's like, that's believable. Everything that happens after that is just like, there's no way in hell. Like, I get it. This is a small village, but it's a fucking police station, man. You're not just going to crack a cop in the head and then walk out. Like, they all know you're there for a reason, especially because you're there because the sergeant brought you in. Like, that's a big deal. There's going to be motherfuckers on your ass. You're not just going to walk out with a billy club in your hand.
And then we had the lunch scene with the lawyers. Like, we need to
Mm-hmm.
negotiate my fee, sort of thing. And then
Yeah.
we realize
This is
his sister's
blackmail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is.
Well
You're
done.
also up for murder, motherfucker.
Then we realize his sister's actually the maid, and they've been keeping tabs. But you would think, once again, right back to the whole rights thing, this would have all been done in probate. So even tell them to go inventory everything, that would have been done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, it's just a wee bit of the ham-fistedness that pulls me out of it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, from this point onwards, it just goes full on board.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's when the gloves are off, and yeah,
So
we're gonna kill
everything else can be
cops and
forgiven.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he runs to the castle, and then the maid gets killed as well, and then he's standing with two bodies, and then the police is like, "Talk to your lawyer," and the lawyer's like, "That's my son." Fucking.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
I was just like, brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
after,
the cop knew exactly what the hell he was saying. It was funny.
At this point onwards, you just crack on now. It's like, right, this is what the movie's meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so damn funny.
Yeah, and
pretty
like
much
you're
just
saying,
like everybody gets systematically wiped out by like the least silent killer ever. Like he's a cripple, so he's constantly hobbling anyways, and he still has his change on him, so it's like you hear the chains and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow he's able to sneak up on everybody.
And he giggles and babbles
Mm-hmm.
the whole way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And then, yeah, the fact that he's already escaped from a police station, knocked out a police officer, that's him in jail anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, even
else.
if he wasn't the fucking murderer, you're gonna get locked up or fucked up over that shit. Period.
Yeah, it's like, well, freeze!
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe the police take things like that personally.
Yeah, probably just a little bit. I mean, that's why the ending of this has always been believable to me, because it's like, cool, he gets out just to go to prison, and prison in a country that he's not even from. Like, I understand the route that he went. Like, that was just practical.
Yeah. I have to say, I had a bit of an ache moment in this.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about, because same thing. It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be seeing
Yeah,
this.
I had to get the calculator out. And I'm like, phew, she's only a year younger than me. That was legal. And I'm like, I know she doesn't get them out, but my God, they are impressive.
Well, it's like she plays the young child so well that it, as soon as that happens, it feels gross.
Yeah, I'm having one of them moments. Like she's just in a bra, white bra, and it's like
Mhm.
it's wet and stuff, wet t-shirt type stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not meant to be feeling this way. Okay, pause. Fucking Google. Fucking cast list. I
Yeah.
need to figure out. I mean, I did. I paused the movie to figure out how I felt about
Yeah, to
this.
look stuff up.
Yeah, because I'm like this. No, I can't. Oh, right. Phew, she's the same age as me. Oh fuck. And she's old enough. Oh fuck. Ah. You're having fucking palpitations. Like, oh, it's okay.
Right.
I'm not a BBC employee. Ha.
Well, I love the follow-up of that. Like, she's shirtless, and we're like, oh my God, okay, yeah, nothing's coming out. Whatever. This is when the monster comes in. And then Barbara Crampton, like the most odd way to pull a titty out ever. She's like, hey, come for me, not my daughter. It's like, ah. And then she's like, nah, okay. And then gets stabbed. It's like, man, if I had a nickel for every time someone pulled a titty out and then stabbed me, I'd probably not have a nickel, because nobody's
I
ever pulled
can't
a
say a
titty out, but
word.
still.
I can't say a word. You've seen my life choices.
Mhm. You've pretty much done the same.
I, you know, I have
Yep.
no defense.
I mean, that is the curse of men. It's like, no, logic, reason. Oh, booby. Hi.
Yeah, the power of boobs compels you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you think about it, you've been locked in a dungeon, and the only thing you've had is an old woman whipping you,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden your venture out into the world is just boobies. Like that's all you're seeing is boobs and all over the place.
Mhm.
That would kind of mess with your everything, like not just your brain, but your hormones. Everything would just click in at once. No wonder you're like going a bit mental.
Mhm.
It's like nothing, darkness, then jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Everywhere you turn, you're like, the beep, and the fucking lizard part of your brain's like, me, 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 me. And,
Mhm.
but you're angry, and oh God, yeah, that's just not a good combination. And then not only that, you're getting shit, like you're first out of the cell and you're getting shit faced.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
All I had to do was give him a line of coke as well, and fucking,
Oh, he would have been unstoppable.
nothing but you can believe that he's got superpowers, but they couldn't quite do the effect on cameras because, like I said, you've been locked up and all this repressed angst then
Mhm.
just gets released. You're like, he'd be like the crashing through walls and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that gave it away was Rebecca looking back when she was running. She has played this
Yeah, that
character so well,
Mhm.
and then she gives it away at just that one point.
Well, and it's like, is it believable because of the fact that she wasn't born blind that she would instinctively do that? Or was it just a lapse in judgment while filming? Like, that's the part that I've kind of struggled with that moment, because it is very like, wait, why is she looking? And then it's like, well, would that just be reactionary, like instinctual to turn and look, even though you can't see, or what? It's
Well,
a
they didn't have time.
tough
Like
one.
realistically, like she would have to have been led up M stairs. No way she was running at that speed.
Well, I mean, she was like they were holding hands the whole time, and
Yeah, but you'd still like go try that. Put a blindfold on and get somebody just to run up some weird cobbled steps.
right, because it'd be one thing if she was like well used to the castle, like lived in at this point, but
Yeah,
this is like 3 days into them being there, so it's like she's not going to be used to that,
yeah. I think it was
especially
just a
going
brief.
places she hasn't been.
I think it was just a brief lapse.
Hmm.
But like I said, the only reason I say it's a shame because she's played this character brilliantly up to this
Hmm.
point. I was just that one. But then again, what else are you going to do? It's like your self preservation. Like you're running upstairs, and there's no time for her to be like guided up
Yeah,
and tripping and falling. That would take too long. If I hadn't have spent an hour dicking about in this movie, there would have been a bit more time.
yeah.
But say la vie, that's the only bit of of her performance I can actually complain about because she's been
Right,
great.
and that's so minor. Like
So
you think about it, and then it's immediately out of your head.
yeah, because she's straight back in the character again and
Hmm.
brilliant. But yeah, I love the way John learns Kirk Fu.
Yeah, man. That's so the best part is like I'll usually look at your notes before I watch the movie because I always just wait until last minute because I
You're just
watch a
looking
lot,
what
I
you
read a
argue
lot.
with me over, aren't you?
Well, no, like I want to see. I like to know your thoughts on the movie before I watch it, especially if it's something that I've watched a billion times because it's almost like a refresher, but from a different perspective. And at first, it's like, wait, what the fuck is he talking about? And then, yeah, it gets that scene. It's like, oh, Kirk Fu. All right, yeah, no, that's straight up Kirk Fu. Just minus the double fist thing. Yeah, so goddamn good. Like the fighting's terrible, but it's believable that an upper middle class white guy is gonna fight like that.
Yeah. I just need a few haymakers as well, just to.
Yeah,
But that was actually a good fight scene.
it was.
Yeah,
It
it was
really
terrible
was.
fight action, but it was still good because Giorgio wasn't a fighter either. He's just like
Mm-mm.
horned
Yeah,
up,
pure
angry.
pure rage.
Yep, which actually makes sense for his fighting style because there is none.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, he whips people with the only implement that he has, which is his chain and shackles,
Mhm.
because that's literally all he had known his entire life was getting whipped.
Yeah, and then we find out. I mean, we get the whole thing about. Oh yeah, Giorgio's not in the crypt,
Hmm.
and he's actually mentally playing with these guys as well
Hmm.
because their son's photograph he put up in the crypt and stuff, and he's like, imagine having that. Well, I suppose if you're only thing you've known's being uh, a subject of sadism, like and hatred, you're going to want a bit back anyway.
Hmm. Well, I don't know. Did he put that there, or was that actually
No, sure was
enforced?
removed, wasn't it?
Well, he took it out like after John had found it, but it's like I don't know. I've always been kind of confused about it. It's like, did he place it there, or was that actually the photographed? And that's just the fact that they are technically related. That it looks like his
Yeah,
son.
having a resemblance.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where this should have spent a bit more time on. I think this wasted too much time in the beginning. Like you could have shown around the castle and stuff with actually Giorgio already being free and
Hmm.
living there and using secret passages and just being a castle creep.
Hmm.
That would have it wouldn't have taken away from this movie whatsoever and wouldn't have cost anymore.
Mm-mm.
And he's there spying as they having their domestics and stuff and all that. But yeah, we'll see that and it just ramps up. Yeah, John gets knocked out, doesn't he? Or knocked
Hmm.
down. Yep. And then that's where he goes up to chase the woman.
Yep. Yep. Everybody seems to be very delicate in the head. Like a quick smack up against the wall and everybody drops.
Once again, if you haven't ever had a punch in your mouth in your life, you're going to
That is
crumble.
true. That is very true.
God, I remember like somebody trying to knock me out with an arm bar. I was like 7. You know, that was just normal kids. That's the sort of
Yeah.
upbringing I had. You know, just fucking trying to get beaten. And once you have that, you kind of, oh, right, that's what that feels like. And you kind of can fight through it.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the first time, oh, you're of course you're going to drop.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Giorgio seeing Boots for the first time, like overstimulated. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, John is a pathetic character. Like, he really is.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one you're not meant to feel sympathy for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though they try to get it across, like it's still like you don't. Like he's a bad person. He killed his fucking kid because he's an alcoholic. He has issues with his marriage, so he resorts back to alcoholism and fucking a whore.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, it's like you on one hand you understand because it's like, yeah, she doesn't fuck him anymore. She hates him. Whatever. What does he have to lose? But even then, it's still like, yeah,
It stays
man.
in a relationship because it's not actually about the thing with addicts is it's not actually about the substance. It's the latching on to people is the most toxic part of them.
Mm-hmm.
They always need somebody, even if it's somebody they don't like, they'll latch on to anybody
Mm-hmm.
because that's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why he didn't get divorced or he didn't leave and go and get himself healed because they're incapable of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the whole misery loves company thing. You know, it's if I'm with somebody, then all of a sudden I can justify himself.
Yeah.
It's the same as the ones you see on social media, and they're posting every day about how they're sober for 21 days, 22 days. And if they don't get a pat in the head, they're basically threatening, if you don't give me a pat in the head, I'm going to go back.
Right.
And it's like, fuck off.
Yeah. It's like either be sober or don't. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah, but don't make a nuisance of yourself. Don't
Mm-hmm.
go and make other people's lives miserable.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make your life miserable, fucking crack on. As you know, I've little to no sympathy for addicts.
Yep. Same. It's like I am like I've fucking survived addiction, gotten over shit. Like it's not that fucking hard. Do it or don't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And if you're worried about what to do with your life, if you're not taking whatever, then fucking find something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have a problem with AA because they seem to replace one addiction with another. If you notice,
Oh
like everyone
yeah.
who goes to
Yeah,
AA
absolutely.
becomes super religionist
Mm-hmm.
and preachy because basically that becomes their new addiction, and so they don't actually solve the problem.
No, yeah, it's just one addiction to the other.
And the behavior doesn't change; it just gets more obnoxious.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather deal with a drunk than a god freak.
Yeah, fucking can't be arsed.
Yeah.
But all in all, this is it's a tragic tale because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think John realizes that he's really of no use.
Mm-hmm. Well, and ultimately, like his life is ruined, even if his family was to, well, I guess not his family, because like his daughter is still, she forgave him.
Mm-hmm.
She understood that it was an accident, it was a lapse in judgment, and she did what kids do. They bounce back real fucking fast, like way faster than adults do. And
We actually see
it
that
was,
as well because the mother's trying to mollycoddle her and she's like,
mm-hmm.
I'm over it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like he understands that even if he gets through this, and even if his wife was to just, deathbed repentance, have a vision of like, oh, wait, no, I am supposed to be with you. Like he's still fucked. He's still going to go to prison because he fucking assaulted an officer with a weapon and he broke out of jail. Like he's fucked one way or the other. So it's,
And countries like Italy, the European don't mess about.
yeah, I can't imagine that they would.
I mean, you will fall up and down stairs. It's same as people at obviously in the UK. A lot of people go for holiday in Spain, and the Spanish police will fuck you up. I mean, you will fall out of the wagon 6 or 7 times before you even reach the police station.
Damn.
You mess about with them. That's just the way they operate.
Mm-hmm.
The European continent, they'll friggin' they will mess with you. It's still that old school sort of medieval style justice.
Yeah, man. That's why when I go to Mexico, I'm very careful. 'Cause I know better.
Yeah, you just don't. You get disappeared right and quick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So he takes his only option out then,
Mm-hmm.
and get rid of Giorgio.
Yeah, and that's
There's no
man, like,
saving Giorgio either.
yeah, no, Giorgio's fucked. Like, he is a product of abuse. 50 plus years of abuse. So, yeah, that was the only way he like that's essentially his rehabilitation, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, it's like I love that part. Once they get down to the courtyard, she immediately grabs his head and starts moving him around. It's like, you know, when somebody has a severe spinal injury, you don't move them. It's like there's this very slim chance he could have lived, and you might have just fucking killed him.
Maybe she was making sure.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to help you, honest.
Right.
She's finally got that point. Be gone.
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah, because then she's the victim, and everybody's gonna love her because she's a widower. She was there with him at his last breath.
But that last scene, like bury him in Italy.
Yeah, that was weird. Especially like nobody liked him, and there's this whole procession of people looking all somber and shit. Even the cop is there with his fucking kid. It's like, why?
Yeah, I can understand. All right, we're not paying for a funeral. Stick him in the vault,
Mm-hmm.
saying it's there. Get this over and done with as quickly
You
as
know,
possible.
I didn't consider that. Like, why would they be taking him out of the castle? Yeah, just bury him in the fucking vault where the rest of his family is. And you don't even have to leave the fucking grounds.
Well, there's movie I reviewed there recently, Immaculate.
Oh man, I want to see that so bad.
And basically one of the nuns died and they just bury her in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Job done.
Mm-hmm.
No big percent, just a wee bit of a religious thing. And you go,
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole point of crypts and vaults and stuff,
Yeah, it's taking care of shit the easy way.
But obviously, that's it. She gets everything. They move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, it's almost like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah. There's no
Like
happy ending whatsoever.
It's not your typical slasher.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he was trying to tell a deeper story, but is used to doing a certain type of movie for so long, he doesn't quite know how to go about it?
That's hard to say because I mean, this is very much like it's almost like a calling card for Stuart Gordon's type of work. Like this felt and looked like a Stuart Gordon movie. So I don't know if there was much depth to it more than just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play with Jeffrey Combs again because we work together so well. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Like, it just needs the tiniest bit of tightening up. And it's just that bit at the start. Like, don't have Giorgio locked in the center. Have him actually break out as soon as his mother dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I would want. And the whole thing would be brilliant. You wouldn't have that jarring thing of this doesn't make sense. And you could still have Rebecca go down and find the cell and, him creeping around on her because nothing really changes.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be like, oh, what the hell's this? And they see the hole, as if something's chained, and then they hear the noises.
Mm-hmm.
And still, everything else in the plot could remain the same. All I had to do was just have him break out basically immediately afterwards and be living in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be eating rats and cats and whatever he wants, but not chained up for X amount of time, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's the only bit that really derails this whole movie. And that's all I have to do to change it. It's just actually cut. They could actually edit that scene and put it right afterwards with even the cat, because the cat was there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I had to do was just re-edit it, take that scene, move it right after her death, and cut out the bit where the cat was hiding in a cupboard or a door or something.
Yeah.
And that would be, it would just fill all the logic centers. Everything else would stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
But there you go. It's still fun. I know it sounds like I'm hamming on it, but
that's the thing. This is, I mean, it's a classic. It's something that I usually will watch at least once a year.
Oh yeah, this is one you can revisit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Evil Dead Rise, I found it difficult to revisit that again. Where this, I could stick on and just, ignore those bits because I've already thought my way through it. So just like, oh yeah, let's get the great bits and have fun with it. It's strange, isn't it, how movies like this last longer than what's supposed to be high art today or supposed to be thought pieces or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But there you go. Oh yes, talking about cheesy movies, I finally broke and watched Alien Covenant because I've been doing that much stuff on Alien lately, and then it got to the point where, in fact, somebody did have a go on me about making a comment about reacting to an article about Covenant, but not actually having watched the movie. Well, I didn't talk about the movie; I talked about the article and the attitude. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to actually watch this movie, and oh my god,
no, it's okay. You don't have to watch it.
well, it did. I don't want my time back.
Yeah. It's so disappointing because it's like there's so much potential, but it's like they didn't have a game plan and just kind of like,
Member
let's just
berries.
throw some xenomorphs. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, and that was part of the problem with Prometheus too. Like, I guess, I mean, the biggest problem with Prometheus was that they were trying to make an art film out of a fucking
Horror.
basically a space slasher.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking monster movie. Don't like, yes, of course we would love backstory because that's good. But that movie, it was all visual, no substance.
Now they're trying to retcon it, make excuses for when Romulus comes out so people have a different reaction. And obviously saving Ridley Scott's ego because he's a dick. But yeah, I finally watched Covenant and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is bad.
Yeah, man, I saw that in theaters and I was pissed. I walked out like, I should have learned my lesson after Prometheus. Oops.
Yeah, I was after Prometheus. I was like, what the hell is this? That's why I never bothered. But I know I'm going to end up reviewing it eventually because we've got the role playing game happening every other Tuesday, and when there's breaks in between it, that's what we're doing, is doing the movies. And I know it's going to happen, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to actually watch it again, and I'm like, ugh.
Right. It's like everybody hates Resurrection, right? Resurrection.
Yeah, Resurrection. Yeah, that's after it.
Yeah. Everybody fucking hates that movie, but then it's like those same people that talk shit on that jerk off to Prometheus and Covenant, and it's like at least there was some logic to Resurrection, albeit very weird. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really get behind Prometheus and Covenant.
No, it's just Ridley Scott's circle jerk. Yeah, look at me, I'm brilliant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there you go. Fun times indeed. There you go, folks. Right, there's another one done. Actually, no, that was a fun movie.
Yeah, no, this is a great one. I was excited when it's like, wait, we haven't talked about this yet? How the fuck have we not talked about Castle Freak?
We could do a review every day of the week, and would still not even touch the surface of all the movies out there. That's the beauty of the horror genre.
Yeah, definitely.
We could do 2 movies a day, every day, and still not touch the surface. There'll always be a movie either I've watched and you haven't, or you've watched and I haven't.
Yeah.
Or someone else will pop up something like random that we haven't seen. It's just, that's the beauty of it. And it's not all Hollywood productions. It's not even counting the indie movies that are out there and the low budget, mid budget, independent studios. Like, you'll never get to the bottom of this genre. And that's a cool thing, because it means that whatever fads come and go, this remains largely untouched, because all the mainstream stuff will go with the current fad, but there's so much there that If you like monster movies, fucking monster movies galore. You
Oh
like
yeah.
paranormal stuff, absolutely, tons of it. You like Exorcist type movies, shitloads of them.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no end.
Yeah. No, I mean, as much as I hate what streaming has done to the industry, it's also great because there's so many free streaming outlets that you can just watch an ungodly amount of those kinds of movies.
It's not. I don't blame streaming. I blame the studios for not having a clue
Mm-hmm.
and not just being smart. But then again, it's all part of the nepotism, getting thunderheads in positions they don't belong in
Mm-hmm.
because they tick boxes and not actually because of what they do. You can do both. You can be talented and maybe tick a box, but just it's a percentage thing, you know what I mean? It's just let it happen naturally and you'd be surprised. But when you start trying to do that shit, well, guess what? Standards are going to drop
Yeah.
because you're not looking for the right things. And it's just typical unimaginative execs that are civil service. You know what I mean? The movie industry has become a civil service. When you think of the unions and everything else, the way it's become, that's it. It's a civil service. It thinks it's just got a license to print money and doesn't have to earn anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that now we're seeing the result of it. You know, it's, chickens are coming home to roost. And they just couldn't deal with streaming. Instead of just slotting it into, well, instead of the way, like I said, the way it has been, VHS, beta, DVD, Blu-ray, Laserdisc briefly. That was a weird thing. Let's make it a record, but a CD, but a record, but yeah, and
Right.
you pay stupid amounts of money for a player. That yeah, okay, we'll forget that. But you know, what I mean, just insert streaming into the slot and crack on as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Silly bastards.
Right.
But we'll never change the world. All we can do is sit here and bitch about it.
Yep. And give them our money like idiots.
Yeah, or not. Yar. God, if I ever thought I'd change my stance on that, but honestly, you just
It's
do what
just
you want.
I am, of course, so against it, but at the same time, it's like they're almost forcing your hand. Like,
It's funny.
especially outside of the country. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, if you want to see something that everybody's talking about, that's literally the only way to do it because there's no rights outside of the country.
Once again, stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was nowhere as bad 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
15 years ago. You know what I mean? Funny enough, the world worked.
I mean, as much as it can.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's always going to be problems. There's no such thing as a utopia.
Mm-hmm.
There's no utopic state where everything gets sorted out, where people, we're always going to bash each other over the head with rocks given the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are. I don't know. Sooner we understand that and then just limit that we don't devolve into complete chaos, the better.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we're people. We're never going to do that because like to fuck things up.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go, folks. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we shall be back maybe sooner than you think. There's a couple of things we want to talk about, but until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of clicky things. And until next time, keep it creepy,
Keep it
keep it
horrific.
horrific.